I can't believe that it's week 6 of me vlogging about this move and transition into the bistro and gallery. And I've got some snippets of videos to add into this vlog this week. So it's going to be a little bit sneaky peeking of what's going on behind the scenes. The most exciting thing that has happened today is that I've just signed all the bank paperwork for the funds to release the art bank from the bridging loan. So that side of things is basically done and dusted and should be finished by the end of the week with the funds released. So that's all good. That puts one thing to the side, which means we can now put full focus on the next stage, which is the bank loan, the funds to purchase the property next door and to renovate it. So that's what we're on now. So we've shifted by putting one thing to bed, and then we're shifting into all guns blazing for the bistro and gallery next door. So timescales depend on solicitors, not on me or the sellers, because we are okay, and obviously the bank are releasing the funds. So there's lots of movement and lots of things happening, and I'm having to jump on calls with solicitors and accountants and bank managers and contractors and suppliers and architects and everything in between, everything else I'm doing. So my current life is a little bit disjointed. Nothing's going smoothly. There's lots of things happening. And I'm jumping from one thing to another. And it's like this when you're doing a big project like this, when you've already got a business that's on rails. So in fact, I've got like more than 2, haven't I? I've got my coaching business, and all my other coaching products. I've got my books and my art. I've got the art bank. So I'm juggling multiple businesses at the moment and trying to transition into another one. So much to do, so much to do. But that's the reason for this blog, so that I can keep you updated with how big this is and how much that has to be done in a week. So in the last week, since I last spoke to you, we've taken delivery of multicolored mops and mop heads and cleaning stuff and cleaning stations and all the things that you need to set up a food establishment. So you've got 4 colors of everything. So there's 4 buckets, 1 red one, 1 green one, 1 blue one, 1 yellow one. Same in mop heads, matching mop heads with blue, green, yellow, red. Matching gloves, matching cloths, so that you clean each area with a separate set of cleaning products and cleaning station, so that you don't cross-contaminate. This is really important in a food establishment. So we're setting it up right from the get-go, with all of the health and safety policies in place. So most of that is now written. My sister Ange, who's managing it for me, has just about finished with all the cleaning rotas and all the temperature checks. We've just had a Legionella risk assessment last week to check the water and making sure we're ticking that box. So that's all kind of the back work that's happening. I told you that I'd been a bit Arthur Daly last week, and I've been going buying tables and chairs. I've got a little clip of those that I'm going to share in this video this week. So I've got a garage full of tables and chairs, and an art studio half full of tables and chairs. So we are picking stuff up either on free cycle or that people want rid of, that's perfectly good furniture that we're going to make sure is in good condition. We're going to upcycle it. We're going to clean it up. It'll be perfect as new when it goes into the new bistro. So there's a clip of that coming in today. Well, there's a clip of it all standing on its side in my garage. It's not very sexy. As I said, bank manager's bin, paperwork signed. Everywhere you look in my office, you'll see this. I've got a video of this. There's vegan and gluten-free cookbooks. We've just finalized the menu. So the menu is finalized, ready to be typed up. And I'm going to share my screen now. I'm going to give you a sneaky peek of the branding. There we go. I already had that. There we go. So there you go. There's the Vault Bistro and Gallery branding. And this has come from a lot of the images for vaults and banks and things like that are quite masculine. And I had a session with Stella Tudor a few weeks ago, who's my intuitive coach. And in that session, I was told quite categorically by whoever it was, by myself, my subconscious, by my spirit guides, whatever you want to call it, to not be frightened to lean into the feminine. So I would never have picked pink for a logo, but boy, is that going to stand out on a high street. And it's going to be interesting how that fits in with the inside decor. Obviously, we're not going to have loads of pink inside. This is about the branding. So there you go. You've had a sneaky peek now of the branding for the Vault, Bistro and Gallery. And we're going to build from there with the scheme that we have inside. It's not going to be pink and fluffy. It's going to be very artsy. But I did want a brand that stood out on a high street. And that colour is going to make people look, and that's the main point. So I've listened to my spirit guides and I've gone with the feminine, and I know I've got pinks in here, but it's not the dominant colour. So yeah, that's a bit, I've had to go past my comfort zone on that one. So I hope you like it. Let me know what you think of it. We're going with that anyway, the Vault, Bistro and Gallery, and that branding. So what else has happened this week? On Friday, I don't know when I did this last week, Tuesday. On Friday, the catering equipment contractor came around to measure up the new kitchen and discuss all of the things that we're going to need. So electrical needs and gas needs, whether we need to increase our gas supply for a commercial catering kitchen. All of those things were discussed. Some of the nitty-gritty, boring details, but really important details that you've got to get right from the start. Because if you open a kitchen and your gas supply is not sufficient, you're not going to be able to cook the food for the punters, are you? So we have got to have a look at that gas supply, see if we've got to upgrade it and get that done now. And then we've got to coordinate electricians and gas contractors and plumbers and things like that to come in and do the work. So that's kind of what I'm on now. I'm in project manager mode now, and I'm coordinating contractors. I'm trying to ease off in my coaching business a little bit by getting ahead of the game with stuff, not doing quite so many podcasts. She says I'm doing 4 this week, but that's not quite so many compared to what I have been doing. So I'm trying to sort of move a little bit sideways at the minute to release myself to project manage the actual transformation next door, which takes a lot of work. Believe me, project management is one of the biggest things that you do in anything like this, in any business, is coordinating all your contractors and getting them pinned down to dates and delivering what you need on the time scale that you need it to the standard that you need it done. So that's kind of where I am, speaking to plumbers and electricians this week and trying to pin people down and come and give me quotes and get that all sorted. So that's kind of the update of the Vault this week. I can't wait to get you in there properly and take the laptop in with me and just talk to you from there, but we're a while away off that yet. We've obviously got to go through the sale and purchase, which takes time. It takes solicitors as long as it takes them. So that's kind of this week's update. I'm going to put these other little clips in for you so you can have a look at the stuff that I've been talking about. Of Mandy, the Arthur Daly, or Del Boy, if you like, doing dodgy deals and getting stuff cheap. And I'm not doing it cheap so it looks cheap. Honestly, it's going to look amazing in there. I still think it's going to look better than all the other places around here, because I'm going to make sure it does. Because we're going to be quirky and different, and the food is going to be delicious. The menu is just like to die for. So you're going to have such a gorgeous selection of food. You're going to want to come here when I share the menu with you in a couple of weeks' time. You're going to want to come and you're going to want to eat. So my sister trialed a recipe for carrot cake at the weekend. So I've been eating carrot cake all weekend, which was very nice. But it's good to do these things as well, I suppose, isn't it? So I can say, right, I've had better carrot cakes, or that's the best carrot cake I've ever had. And unfortunately, it was I've probably had better carrot cakes. We need to do better. But we've got time to perfect these recipes now and make them so good that people want to come back. That's what you've got to do with food. You've got to make it so good that people want to come back and eat with you again. So yes, and how you do anything is how you do everything. I have made my coaching program so good that my clients stay with me and they stay for that journey and beyond. In fact, I'm going to be launching a new business very soon. Maybe I'm going to give you a little hint on that. with somebody that may have been a client of mine. And how you do anything is how you do everything. My standards in the art bank, we've just won an award for the art bank. And that's because our standards are very high and we keep getting 10 out of 10 reviews. So that's the standard I want to set before we even open the doors next door. Before we open the doors to that bistro and gallery, everybody that works there needs to know that that's the standard of food, that's the standard of service, that's the standard of hygiene, that's the standard of everything that we do in there has got to be 10 out of 10. It's got to be because how you do anything is how you do everything. And I can't work at any other level than that. It was the same when I was in retail. I've been the same my entire life. It's one of my values, I suppose. And I think that's something that you've got to be mindful of when you go into any business. What are your values? Mine are to do the absolute best in anything that I do, to deliver the best so that people want more of it. And that sat with me I'm 58 now. I have been like that for 35 years since I was properly in business as a store manager. I worked before that, but yeah, since I was a store manager, it's been the same for 35 years. I ain't going to change now, am I? Anyway, I'm rambling now. So I look forward to updating you next week. By next week, this side of the thing should be done and dusted, money in the bank, everybody paid, everybody's happy. Let's get on the rails with the bistro. So I'll have a really good update for you next week of like timescales and what you can expect to see. Oh, by the way, I don't know when did I do this? It was last week, didn't I, that I chopped the top of my finger off. So it's healing. Okay, it is getting better. I have had full permission to give everybody the bird for about a week and a bit now. I still think it could have done with some stitches in it, but I keep super gluing it and it seems to be getting there, but it's a bit flappy. So yeah, I'm sure there'll be more injuries like this when I'm in a kitchen helping out. Although I probably shouldn't be allowed to go in a kitchen and help out, should I? Anyway, I will see you on next week's vlog. Thank you for listening to my ramblings. And thank you if you're tuning in every week and watching the vlog and getting the updates. We get to the exciting stuff really, really soon of being in there up to our armpits in muck and sorting things out and moving things about. So I can't wait for that bit. I'll see you next week. Bye. So I thought I'd add a few little videos onto my vlog today. This is my office. Literally, we go from awards that I can't put up yet because my window in the dining room is broken. So I'm waiting for someone to fix the window in my dining room. Just received a load of gluten-free and vegan cookbooks. Letters from the bank. Preparing to do a live stream this morning in my coaching business. And a large pile of paperwork for health and safety and food hygiene piling up in the corner of the room. This is kind of what it's like. Obviously, my bike's in my office as well. Kind of what it's like at the moment. I am multitasking, jumping from one thing to another, and keeping extremely busy. I'm going to take you and have a look at my garage. I thought it was worth noting that while all the chaos is going on, Diesel is very comfortable on the memory foam bed. Aren't you, Diesel? Are you Diesel? He's just flopped. So welcome to my garage. Couldn't possibly get my car in here, even if I tried at the minute. We have one set of tables and chairs, another two sets of tables and chairs, as well as a pallet of logs in the corner. So all my extra space is now starting to fill up with furniture for the coffee shop, the bistro, and some of it has got to be upcycled. Some of it already is upcycled. We're getting some fantastic pieces. Obviously you can't tell until they're in position, for a really low amount of money, which is fantastic. Okay, so now we're in my art studio because honestly, it's everywhere. More chairs, because that's a 6-seater that we've got in there. A little coffee table for where the sofa is going to be. All in need of upcycling. So I've got a bit of a job to do at the weekends now. Video, here we are signing the paperwork for the loan. Signing my life away.